Hello everyone, welcome back to another manga chapter review. I am the Rat, and this is the Rat's Nest. I'm joined as always by Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
Hi everyone.
Chainsaw Man, chapter 113.
I want to see penguins. Yeah, no, this was a great follow-up to last chapter.
Oh my gosh, I loved it so much. It was worth the 2 weeks. It was worth the 2-week wait.
It was a very fun chapter.
I'll say it again at the end probably. We have another 2-week wait. I think Chainsaw Man Part 2 is going to be on the schedule of whenever we get into fights every week, like whenever we're not in fights every other week. I think probably the reasoning for that is that like whenever we're not in fights and it's just a lot of faces, Fujimoto can... I think it's easier to draw. And I think in here we had a couple examples of stuff being reused, which is completely fine. I'm not saying that it's not. It's completely fine because it still looks good because it's Fujimoto. But I think that he uses that time whenever he's writing these kind of more low-key chapters to be working on like the future action chapters to be able to get them out like on a week by week.
Yeah, because it's okay if Chainsaw Man's slower. If the pacing of the content itself is slower, then that's fine if it's slower. But if it's like high-paced action, I mean, imagine if we had to we already talked about this, right? If like last arc during the fight at school, imagine if that was like bi-weekly.
Yeah. Ugh.
We would still be like in the middle of that. So for like big action sequences, yeah, if that's how it ends up being, I'm perfectly okay with that.
Mm-hmm. But for now, we have Chainsaw Man chapter 113.
Yeah, let's get right into it.
So, we start off we're looking at Asa, and what you call it? She's quite dapper in this first page. We get to see Yoru too. We can see Asa. She's trying out a hairpin. Forget the hairpin. Can't you add some more flair? Whatever. You drop it. My outfit's fine. That's so true. Asa has some drip. Asa does have a tiny amount of drip. It's always really funny to see Yoru just in whatever Asa's wearing. Because nothing ever fits her.
Yeah,
nothing ever fits her completely. You know.
Yeah, I like the conversation they have on the next page. I don't know. It just feels like a real, minus the fact that they're trying to seduce him and turn into a weapon. I don't know. It just feels like a natural dialogue that they're having. Like, are you able to seduce him? It'll be easy for me, or too easy. And then she responds to the house with, boys fall for anyone who could show them a fraction of a good time.
Just because it's true doesn't mean you could say it. It's funny. She knows the secret and she can't act upon it. I mean, it just adds towards the negative Rizz.
That's where we're
just adds towards the negative Rizz.
She knows the answer, but she can't act upon that answer because she's... Yeah, you wouldn't get it because you're a devil. Besides, I'm pretty darn cute. He'll be head over heels for me once we hang out for a bit.
She is cute, you know. She is
cute. But then we get the big reveal.
Sea anemones are relatives of the jellyfish. They have these tiny hairs
Please don't read the
on
whole
them
thing.
that use
Please don't
to
read
feed
the whole thing.
the stunning fish, shrimp, zooplankton, and so on. But they can survive for years without food. They're like jellyfish in that way. There are even sea anemones that have lived longer than 70 years with the proper care. They're found all throughout the world's oceans, and they can slowly move too. There are also fish that live inside the fish called anemone fish. The sea anemones protect them from predators and share their food scraps.
We get negative Rizz Asa, which I don't know what I was expecting with their date, but this is pretty funny. Just watching his slack jaw stare in that second panel on page 4, just like a dead stare because he's so
cannot believe it.
The one time he seemingly picks up someone who's interested in him, not for the reason to kill him, even though it kind of is, she's fumbling so hard, and this is just great.
So, you know, classic Fujimoto aquarium, right? You always got to have some aquarium with Fujimoto's works. That was my first thing I noticed. And then he's like, hey, enough about sea anemones already. I want to go look at the penguins. No, we're supposed to look at this for another 10 minutes. 10 minutes!
That's
Jeez!
So but the craziest thing is, in her head, she thinks like, yeah, he's falling for me right about now.
Listen, I came up with the perfect plan for enjoying the aquarium. We aren't deviating from the plan. She's just like, okay.
And he launches immediately back into another.
Tropical water sea anemones last on the coral reefs or rocks. little bit of a time skip. Starfish are echidnoderms and relatives of the sea urchin. I'm not reading that entire thing, by the way. I'm not going to do that to myself.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we get more just exposition on sea life from Asa, which
can't wait for us to meet the starfish devil and for all this to be critically important.
The anemone devil. But yeah, I like the writing here because I didn't know what to expect with this, but I love the direction it's going. Where she's trying so hard. She thinks she's doing everything right. She put in a lot of effort for this, so like you have to give her that. But the negative Rizz though, it's
how do you fumble this hard? Like, okay, going into the date, right? Obviously it wasn't going to go well, right? It was going to be entertaining. It was going to be awkward, right? It was going to be, it was going to be fun, right? It was going to be fun for us readers. I did not expect Asa to be the one with negative Rizz. I thought it would be Dennis. I thought Dennis would come in with negative Rizz, and Asa is like still trying to make it work through his negative Rizz. But then it's like the opposite way. She has negative Rizz.
I thought that Denji, like, he might have messed up. I wasn't thinking he had negative Rizz. I was thinking Denji would have just fumble's also an incorrect word. Like messed up a few times, but like, make her like smile, make her laugh at it. I figured it'd be something like that. I don't know why I thought that, but this is so much more entertaining to read.
So much better. Oh my gosh.
So much better than our current ideas. Enough about Starfish. I want to see the penguins. No, the plan is to look at Starfish for another 30 minutes.
30 minutes? How do you memorize enough information to talk about Starfish for 30 minutes?
Bro literally checked out of the library and said, here's my negative Rizz card. Put it on that.
And Dennis is like, 30 minutes?
Yeah, he has the reaction that we do. And then she keeps on going, and she's literally thinking to herself, he should be falling for me right about now.
Even the aquarium boys could give explanations this interesting. How is she so socially adept? Even Dennis wasn't this bad, and he killed his dad.
Yeah, and again, we get
Dennis being like, "Hey, can we ignore the plan for a second? Go see the penguins." And then would you mind shutting up? We'll have fun as long as we stick to my plan. You don't need to think about a thing.
Okay, so this is an actual interesting point of discussion. Not that everything else hasn't been interesting, but this is like for plot relevance. Brandon and I talked about this earlier beforehand. This is a good page for showing his growth in terms of like decision making. Because remember in part 1 how Denji he didn't want to think for himself. He wanted other people to think and make decisions for him. He was a gun. You point the gun at something and he would go. Right? Like the page that Brandon showed me in the comparison was from page 87 or chapter 87. Makima says, "Oh yeah, don't think about a thing," and he agrees with her. And now we get a similar scenario. Just have fun. Don't think about a thing. And we get to see him flustered, responding like, "I'm going to think about stuff in my own way," And he gets angry because I personally think that she hit a sore spot on accident.
Oh, I definitely think so.
Yeah. And then like
you could just see like his face in the top left corner, just being like, "This bitch."
This bitch really is about a lecture.
Ask me on a date on my day off. Talk to me about Starfish facts. Call me a loser.
How does she fumble this hard?
How do you fumble Dennis?
It should be the other way around almost every time.
I love the one that replaced her quote with "I fumbled some of the baddest bitches in the world." Dennis's iconic line.
Yeah.
Looking at the penguins with or without you because I've never seen penguins before. It's a good
and then he wanders, and then we get a pretty great interaction between Asa and Yoru where she says, like, "You should go after him," and she's like, "No, he's the one in the wrong. You don't have to make explanations. I didn't do anything." And we get Yoru having to break the unfortunate news of total bore.
Come again. The punk looked bored by your long-winded lectures. I was bored the entire time too. And man, that is a great expression.
Bites her lip in anger and like, you guys are the bores. I studied everything. I know exactly what I'm doing. I have fumbled
some of the baddest bitches in the world.
Yeah, she just proclaims like, I've done everything right, and then we get the big reveal.
Real quick, on the expression on the page before where she's angry, I just want to say I love how far Fujimoto's expressions have come. I just read Fire Punch, and it was a very good series, and I won't talk too much on it because Kyle hasn't read it, and we're gonna talk about it and after he does. But oh my gosh, Fujimoto's expressions have come such a long way from the face. If you know the face, you know the face. To this, and expressions have definitely been a strong point of his throughout, not just Chainsaw Man Part 1, but especially Part 2. And yeah, all his one shots and everything. So it's been good to finally read Fire Punch and see where he came from, to see how he's evolved, and boy, has he evolved.
Real quick, so Fire Punch was written like before Chainsaw Man Part 1 was a thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, so, it ran from 2016 to early 2018, and Chainsaw Man started later 2018.
Okay, cool. So yeah, back to Chainsaw Man Part 2, Chapter 113. She's upset. She's angry that Yoru would even dare proclaim that she's boring. She's mad, like, I did everything right, and then we get the reveal. Exactly, you weren't wrong, Asa. Boom. We get to meet the Famine Devil guys.
Fammy.
Yep, Fammy.
Denji is someone who doesn't know the first thing about right and wrong. You're correct. Okay, so she knows Dennis. We don't know, like, probably, I assume not personally, but she knows of Dennis, which isn't surprising, because she calls herself Yoru's big sister. So theoretically, Maki was also related, and theoretically Nayata's also related, and Nayata cameo.
I don't know why. I love the way that he draws Fammy with like the head tilt. I just think it's interesting because
the inbound scales.
Yeah, because Brandon told me like I don't know much about the Horseman, but he said like Famine is typically represented with uneven scales. So I like that detail.
Mm-hmm. It's a neat little thing there. And then Fammy says, "You can't turn Denji into a weapon after all, can you? You always have to do the right thing. You can't turn a person into a weapon. What do you know about my power? I never mentioned I'm the War Devil's big sister, Famine Devil. Call me Fammy." And
very happy
goes,
that
Famine. Like, no, her name is Fammy.
Very happy this is not the Death Devil.
Yeah. No, I'm not surprised. I really didn't want it to be Death Devil, and it just made more sense for it to be the Famine Devil. Because death 100% has to be a primal fear.
It has to. I honestly think Death would probably be the strongest devil in my opinion. That or like
I liked your idea. We were talking about it a little bit earlier about everyone's power. So Makima, Control Devil, the power to.
Sorry, I found exactly what I said.
Yeah, it was Makima, the Control Devil, had the power to control those and control the powers of those that she saw as less than her. And you know that Yoru, the War Devil, has the ability to turn things that she thinks is hers into weapons, into
just how war you use everything that you have in your possession to fight with.
So Famine could theoretically, the only thing we've seen Famine do was bring Yuko back to life bigger. Now, I don't know how she did that, but she did. I like the idea that Famine's power is something like if she eats a devil, she gets its power. And that's a good, counterpoint in comparison back to Pochita and the Chainsaw Devil, where if he eats something, they're gone forever. It's a nice little thingy there. Nice little thing there. And so then that's also the theory of, because at the end, right, we see eternity. And with the Eternity Devil, it's the question of, okay, is he just back from hell? Like, why is he helping out Famine? To be able to be called on, like that second, like, okay, I'm going to do this now. Like, snap your fingers, boom, there's the Eternity Devil.
Yeah.
So it's either she is controlling him through, I think, starvation, like you said. Like, where she's, like, starving him and, like, kind of like how she's trying to do with Asa, where she's like,
yeah,
whenever you're starving, your morals will go out the windows. Or she ate Eternity Devil and was able to gain his powers. In which case, she'd be pretty insane, and I think then her thing with Yuko could be explained just as she ate a devil with some power to resurrect people or to heal people, right?
Yeah, that could be a thing. Like a healing devil of sorts.
Yeah. It'll be very interesting to see. But I really liked your idea. Do you have it pulled up? What exactly you said what the Death Devil could be?
Not Death Devil. Where did I send that? Discord?
I'm pretty sure it was. I think it was you. Yeah, it said something about the Death Devil. Was it not you, or did I read that somewhere else?
I didn't tell anything about the Death Devil. I had an idea about.
Well, then I saw an idea. I guess it was probably on Reddit in the chapter review that the Death Devil has the abilities of everything it kills.
Oh no, that was me.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought that was you.
Where did I say that? Was that in
it wouldn't have been in Twitter. I'm pretty sure it was Discord.
Where did I post this? Because I'm looking through our messages and like none of my messages, not all of them are loading.
Well, I think Discord might be having some issues.
That's what I had with the Death Devil idea, where I had the idea initially with the Famine Devil, where she could starve people into submission and to do what she wants. Because I mean, she could eat and use their powers, but I feel like that's kind of Dennis's thing. I think it'd be a lot more interesting and show a lot more like characteristic of her if she just starved people into doing what she wanted. To be like, I will make you like, because with the Eternity Devil, we know the only reason, the reason that they got out of that first one was since the Eternity Devil can never die, Denji caused like infinite pain to it, without like, he didn't have its heart there, so he kept on hurting it and causing like a near eternal pain to it until he decided, okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. And I think it'd be interesting if with the Eternity Devil, she just started out, so it's like, yeah, you're not gonna die, but you're going to have like the worst pain ever for eternity unless you do what I say, and I can just turn it on and off at will. And I like that with Death Devil, where the idea of if Death Devil kills something, it can just use its power, and because Death kills everything, it can use any power it wants. That's the idea that I had with it.
Yeah. So
then I have something to do later with a certain character I think is going to come back. We can talk about that near the end.
Yeah. So here, call me Famine. Not good, Asa. Don't listen to that. And then they disappear. And I took Yoru outside. It's only temporary. So that's another thing I think in the camp of maybe it's her power now, because she said, I took Yoru outside. She was able to determine who was in the eternity and who wasn't.
That's also true. Yeah.
And that could just be weird wording, and it is eternity. What any human should be capable of abandoning their morality when they're starving. I'll create the right stage for you. You aren't leaving this aquarium until you can turn Denji into a weapon. See you soon. I think the wording right there, hopefully that is the most accurate translation. So it won't be, one, I don't know if they're going to kill eternity, right? Because Dennis has already done that. I don't know if they're going to. I think they're going to take a different approach to this fight. It's not she can't leave until she does turn Dennis into a weapon. It's that she can't leave until she can turn Dennis into a weapon. So whenever she is mentally able to turn Dennis into a weapon, they'll be freed. So that's, I don't think they're going to beat eternity. And also then that's the question of like, if it is, I think that is a good setup if it is just Famine's power now. Because you'd have to kill Famine to get rid of the effect. I think that's a good out to the situation without having to kill the devil responsible. Now, I could be wrong, and it could just be eternity, and then Dennis just kills it again. Certainly, I'd be badass to see. But if they were going to go the route that I personally think, I think that's the way you do it.
Of having it be where it's not an arc where they're trying to kill a devil. It's just an arc about trying to get Asa ready to turn Dennis into a weapon.
Yeah. And I think the way that yeah. What were you going to say?
Sorry. I just said it's too early to kill Famine, and then I said, what were you going to say? Right as you said, what were you?
So I was going to say, I think the way that you can do that to get Asa ready to kill Chainsaw or Dennis is by having her know he's Chainsaw Man.
True.
And she doesn't know that Chainsaw Man killed Yuko. But were she to find out that information and then know that Dennis is Chainsaw Man?
Yes.
But we also have the guy the fake Saw Man from last chapter.
Fake Saw Man. Yeah.
Or the chapter before. we also have him and his place in all this. We don't know. It's very interesting. So then Dennis comes back up. We got an emergency. This aquarium ain't that big, right? Huh? I guess not. See, Asa's a little bit a little bit out of her comfort zone because her text box is not solid. It's a little wiggly. I think that's a nice little visual cue.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, because no matter how far I walked down the hall, I couldn't get out. And then Asa's like, and he says that pain in the butt's back from hell. That's a badass line. That's a pretty badass line. I won't lie to you.
So yeah, there's a couple of interesting directions that this could go in. Obviously the biggest direction or the most obvious one is Eternity Devil's back. Whether like it's Famine Devil's like controlling it, no matter what, the Eternity power is in play right here, right now.
Yes, 100%. I what do you call it? If you don't think that this is the Eternity Devil power, you're an idiot, and if you're correct, you're so smart.
But we're not idiots. You're still an idiot for not telling us this information ahead of time.
Exactly.
So it can go that route. You can go down the route of it's just an arc, like you said, to prep her. Like if she is driven to the brink and is like, all right, fine. I know you can do this to me at any point. Like you can trap me in like eternity and starve me eternally. I'll do it. I'll turn him into a weapon, and that could be where it ends. It could be like there could be another direction. I personally think it'd be really funny if Kobani was just stuck in the infinite thing, because I told Brandon my idea as to why she would be coming back. Fujimoto's done a lot of, not in a bad way, but like retreading ideas. Where like we had the Bat Devil in one of the first fight arcs in both parts. We have Eternity Devil now. So Kobani was introduced in the original Eternity Devil section, so I think it'd be really funny if she was just
it'd be very interesting to see if there were those kind of parallels.
And watching her be starved out would be just because she would lose her mind quickly.
Because that's also, I mean, that was part of the been watching the anime because it's been coming out. Whenever you watch that part, food was the big thing during the Eternity Devil. They were like, what are we gonna eat?
Yeah, which would mean like this would increase the pacing of that much faster, where even if they have food, I doubt in the presence of the Famine Devil a single like morsel of food would do jack, considering like it's the Famine Devil. It can make you probably feel eternally starving.
Yeah.
So
no, it'll be very interesting to see what exactly Famu's powers are. It'll be very I'm really looking forward to it. I think that we are about to start an amazing arc, Kyle.
I'm with you, dude. I'm excited. All she had to do was not fumble and go see the fucking penguins, dude. It's all that was needed to avoid this.
I just want to see penguins.
You just had to tell him no. You just had to tell him to shut up, didn't you, Asa?
I mean, any arc that starts off with Ashley having negative Rizz, especially against Dennis, is going to be pretty insane.
How do you fumble Dennis?
How do you fumble Dennis? Oh my gosh.
Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way you fumbled Dennis.
All right, quiet, Kyle. Quick poll. This is still in video, by the way. I'm going to leave this in.
Okay.
Should the title be Asa has negative Rizz or Ashley fumbled Dennis?
I like the negative Rizz one.
Yeah, that's what I was
because Dennis is an easier inside joke to understand than Ashley.
True. All right. Well, so that is the chapter. Man, going forward, I don't know. I think I really don't have any ideas. I think the two main theories are this is straight up the Eternity Devil, or this is Fami having the Eternity Devil's power. Either way, I'm perfectly fine with. I think it's going to be incredibly interesting. Cannot wait to see Dennis and Asa interact more.
Yeah, because we're going to get a lot of that next chapter. They're stuck together.
Yep.
So
in 2 weeks, sadly.
Yeah, that's fine. It gives us time to prep.
But on the other hand, this week's chapter of One Piece is going to be pretty good.
I still have to read last week's chapter. I feel bad for not being in the previous episode.
Oh, you're all good. Trevor and I had a good time. It was like 4 minutes. It's like 4 minutes.
Yeah. I can definitely see why it would be 4 minutes. Yeah, that's kind of all the thoughts I have on this chapter. Anything else that you have to say that we haven't already talked about?
Well, if you're this far in the video, obviously there's something you'd like, so make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment telling us how correct we are. And if you're one of the people that we mentioned earlier saying, what did we say that if you said something you were right versus wrong? Oh yeah, it was the Eternity Devil power. If you say that it's not the Eternity Devil and you're right, let us know. Check us out on Goobers and Screens, link in the description. And the next video we will have is One Piece on Sunday. And we will see you all then. We'll be back with Chainsaw Man in 2 weeks. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Bye-bye.
Bye.